Selling a Rolex for profit. This video is for those individuals who maybe have $100,000+ to spend, a lot of free time, are a quick learner, you enjoy watches and especially traveling, and also you have an American passport. My name is Mike Kubera. Today we are discussing how to sell Rolex watches for profit. I am not a Rolex collector, I'm not a watch collector, I'm just somebody who is able to travel to Switzerland, purchase a tax-free Rolex Submariner this year, and now I'm receiving offers to buy the Rolex, and I have been receiving over, I'd say 5 to 6 offers per week for the past couple of weeks on Chrono24. I've also received other offers outside of that website on OLX, on Craigslist, eBay, everywhere I've posted it essentially. I do not have the Rolex in possession anymore. I received capital for it. I've used that capital to pay off 6 months of my rent, to invest into a couple of other things, to pay off certain debts. Hey, you know, crypto's crashed a bit, so there's no need to be wearing an $8,000 watch, which a lot of people are more than willing to purchase it for $8,600. Brand new, it is a $9,300 watch, give or take a little bit due to taxes, and this is where the profit comes in. You see, as an American, you're able to travel to Switzerland, and it's especially beneficial if you're an American living in Europe, because the #1 cost here is the travel. If you don't travel and you decide to purchase it online, it's going to be much tougher for you to make a profit, since you're going to be paying hefty custom import fees. You see, I had an interested potential buyer in Germany that wanted to purchase the watch for around $8,600. I was offering a little bit of a discount if you paid in crypto, but he didn't care about that. The #1 concern he had was import fees, and eventually he said, you know what, I can't do this because it's going to be 20% import fees. It's going to cost more than a watch would cost even at the store, where it is expensive over there in stores, but the fees, the shipping and handling from my side, the insurance of the watch, you know, most companies aren't going to insure over $5,000 that's going through the mail, so you have to go through some third-party insurance companies, and he was super paranoid about it also being illegal. Even though from my side it was all good, I had the paperwork, he was worried that, you know, he's going to pay the custom fees and the watch is going to be taken away from him. The full details I don't know about German law and importing Rolexes, but that one story has definitely given me caution that if you're trying to get into the watch selling business and you're selling internationally, it is extremely tricky. But if you're a European American, you have an American passport, and let's say you live especially in Switzerland, or you live somewhere like I do, Poland, Finland, wherever it is, tickets to Switzerland are only a couple $100. Sometimes it's less than $100 to fly in. You can purchase a Rolex watch and you don't have to pay the taxes, as long as you get the tax refund in store. Now what they do in Switzerland is they don't charge it to you. You just have to give them your passport details, your credit card details. If you do not get a stamp of approval at the airport, if you don't get your receipt and you don't mail that back to the Swiss government, as soon as you leave the country, they're going to charge you the 600, 800,000, whatever plus dollars that the taxes, the VAT is. Now, for American tourists, this is amazing, the VAT tax refunds. It varies based on which country you go to, but for example, if you come to Poland, you purchase thousands of dollars worth of goods, maybe you buy some Hugo Boss pants, you go on some epic shopping sprees, as long as you still have it in your hand and you're showing it in the airport, you can get a tax refund. It's not going to be the full tax refund, depending on where you're at, but it's nice. You get some cash in hand and it's like, great, you're able to go on your way, spend it, or invest it. With Rolexes, especially if it's new, with all the stickers, with the documents, with the detailing, everything intact, if you have it on your wrist or you have it somewhere on your body, and then you can ship the box later just by itself, so when customs stops it, they're like, oh, well, there's there's no watch in here. So, okay, whatever. The box is worth like $2 in their mind. You can do that with multiple watches, or you can just take off the stickers and sell it as a used, barely used. Whoever you are, if you are a dealer, this is even better for you. I'm sure there's some ways that this can be stopped from being abused at the higher levels, but I'm just talking about a couple watches, or maybe one big watch that's a $50,000 watch, a $100,000 watch. Obviously, the more money you're putting into this, the more of a tax refund, the more profit you're able to get from this. But the larger, more expensive, rarer watches will be a harder sell. You'll have less interested people, and the people who are interested, it's going to get tricky with paying your own taxes. This has a lot of variables to it, but if you do it just right, there is a chance you can make good profit by avoiding taxes. And if you choose the right model, it will go up in value regardless. Submariners, the steel ones, are, from my knowledge, going up in value in certain countries like Britain because the stores are limiting how many they're selling. They're creating false scarcity, so the really rich people are willing to pay $10,000 instead of just going to Switzerland and paying $9,300 because they don't really care about the $700 difference. They don't want to waste their time flying back and forth. And if they're going to buy shipping, well, it's going to go for $10,000 anyways, right? There are waiting lists for certain Rolex watches that you can easily get at a reseller in Switzerland, such as Carl F. Boucherer. Why wait 3 months when you can get it today? See, it gets tricky when you're going to be doing bulk, because I'm not sure about the limits on this. But if you show an American passport and you leave the European Union at least once within the next 3 months, that's what it is, I think, for most countries that this falls under. You're able to hang on to the watch, list it on a couple places, you find the right buyer, you meet with them in person, the cash turns out good. Hey, you just made a couple $100, made a couple $1,000 profit. There you go. For my Submariner, even though it was used, even though it was scratched, there was a lot of very interested people. Some were willing even to drive a couple of hours just to meet for this, and it seemed that there's certainly a demand for this. In Poland, there's not a lot of Rolex sellers. You can easily find that out by just going to Chrono, Polish watch forums, OLX, wherever else I listed it. So as soon as there is a listing, there's a lot of interested buyers. This was my favorite picture I was able to take of it just due to the colors. This was with either no editing at all or maybe a little bit extra of saturation and brightness added to it. But the colors, the Rolex is just such a beautiful watch. Of course, there's going to be individuals out there that are saying, you plebeians with your Rolexes, look at my Patek Philippe. But for the mass majority, they probably don't even know what a Patek is. Again, this video, I'm not a watch guy. I don't know the business. I just saw this myself personally and discovered, hey, it's a pretty cool way to save money and make some money. Out of all the things that I purchased that were luxury goods, I sold most of them at a huge loss. Possibly the last item of value that I have is my Burberry scarf. The rest, well, I don't really need materialistic possessions anymore. I just want cash, and I want that working somewhere, whether it's in crypto, stocks, buying jewelry. I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of years, but I've learned my lessons. I've made some mistakes. The one purchase that I didn't lose money on, though, was the Rolex. Even though it was scratched, even though it was used for months. Beautiful watch. Thanks so much for watching today. My name is Michael Kubera. See you guys.